Hello, and welcome to the United Kingdom of Christ Broadcast Network's Bible Study. I'm your host, Glenn Griego, coming to you from the beautiful Denver metro area. I want to thank you for taking the time to join me for our Bible study session. Hope these episodes have been beneficial for improving your understanding of the Bible, increasing your spiritual growth, and strengthening your relationship with our Heavenly Father. If you'd like to connect with me, you can follow me on X, the app formerly known as Twitter. My handle is UK_Christ. You can also follow me on Instagram. My username is UK.Christ. Can also be reached via email at uk.christ@outlook.com, or feel free to call or text me at 720-805-8886. Please don't hesitate to reach out. If there's anything I can help you with, I'd be more than happy to oblige. So we're going to continue our study in Genesis today. We're going to go ahead and, if you're following with a traditional Bible, an NASB is what I'm typically using. As you know, I've already surpassed our studies in my own writing of my Bible. So what I read is from my Bible. I go through and I make sure that it aligns with the NASB's chapters and verses that I give you. So today we'll be studying chapter 45, verse 24 through chapter 47, verse 19. So let's go ahead and get this all knocked out, okay? Israel moves to Egypt. The brothers left Egypt and went up to the land of Canaan to their father Israel. The sons told their father, "Joseph is alive, and he is the ruler over all of Egypt." Israel was shocked and did not believe them. When they explained to him everything Joseph had told them, and he saw the wagons that Joseph had sent to carry him, Israel's spirit regained life. Israel said, "It is satisfying to know my son Joseph is still alive, and now I will be able to see him before I die." Israel set out with his entire household and came to Beersheba. He offered sacrifices to the God of his father Isaac. God told Israel in visions of the night, "Israel, Israel." Israel replied, "I am here." The Lord told him, "I am God, the God of your father. Do not be afraid to travel down to Egypt. I will make you a great nation there. I will travel with you down to Egypt. I will also bring you back, and Joseph will close your eyes." One moment. Israel's sons carried him from Beersheba with their children and their wives in the wagons that Pharaoh had provided them. They took their livestock and the possessions they had acquired in the land of Canaan to the land of Egypt. His sons and his grandsons, his daughters and his granddaughters, and all of Israel's descendants traveled to Egypt. Those who came to Egypt. The sons of Israel who went to Egypt were Reuben, Israel's oldest son, Reuben's sons, Hanok, Palu, Hezron, and Carmi, Simeon and his sons, Jemuel, Jamin, Ohad, Yakin, Zohar, and Shaul, the son of a Canaanite woman. The sons of Levi, Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. The sons of Judah, Onan, Shelah, Perez, and Zerah. As you know, and Onan died in the land of Canaan. The sons of Perez, Hezron and Humul. The sons of Issachar, Tola, Puvah, Iab, and Shimron. The sons of Zebulun, Sarid, Elon, and Jahleel. The sons of Leah, who she gave to Israel in Paddan Aram, and their daughter Dinah, were 33 in total. The sons of Gad, Ziphion, Haggai, Shunai, Esbon, Eri, Arodai, and Areli. The sons of Asher, Imnah, Ishvi, Beriah, and their sister Sarah. The sons of Beriah, Eber, and Malchil. These are the sons of Zilpah, the maid given to Leah by her father, Laban, that she had conceived with Israel, a total of 16 people. The sons of Rachel, Israel's wife, were Joseph and Benjamin. Joseph had children in the land of Egypt with Asenath, the daughter of Potipherah, the priest of On. These children were Manasseh and Ephraim. The sons of Benjamin, Bela, Becher, Ashbel, Gera, Naaman, Ahi, Rosh, Muppim, Huppim, and Ard. The family from the sons of Rachel that were born to Israel totaled 14 people. The sons of Bilhah, the maid given to Rachel from her father Laban, she conceived with Israel, were Dan and his son Husham. The sons of Naphtali, Jazeel, Guni, Jezer, and Shalem, totaling 7 people in all. All the people that belonged to Israel, his direct descendants, not including the wives of his sons, were 66 people total. The sons of Joseph that were born to him in Asenath were 2. The total of all of the people of Israel's house that came to Egypt were 70. Israel sent Judah ahead to receive directions to Goshen. When they arrived in Goshen, Joseph prepared his chariot and went up to Goshen to meet his father Israel. When Joseph arrived to Israel, he fell on his neck and wept for a long time. Israel told Joseph, I can now die since I saw your face, and I know that you are still alive. Joseph told his brother and Israel's household, I will go and tell Pharaoh, my brothers and my father's households that were in Canaan have arrived. The men are shepherds, keepers of livestock, and have brought their herds and all their possessions. When Pharaoh calls you and asks, what is your occupation? I want you to say, your servants and our fathers have been keepers of livestock. Hopefully Pharaoh will allow you to live in the land of Goshen, because shepherds are repulsive in the eyes of Egyptians. Chapter 47. Israel's family settles in Goshen. Joseph went to Pharaoh and told him, my father, brothers, their flocks and herds, and all their possessions have moved from the land of Canaan, and they are living in the land of Goshen, in Egypt. He took 5 of his brothers and brought them to Pharaoh. Pharaoh asked, what are your occupations? The brothers explained, your servants and our fathers have been shepherds. We have traveled throughout the land because there is no pasture for your servants' flocks due to the severity of the famine in the land of Canaan. Please, let your servants live in the land of Goshen. Pharaoh told Joseph, your father and your brothers have come to you. The land of Egypt is at your disposal. Allow your father and your brothers to settle in the best of the land. They may live in the land of Goshen, and if there are any capable men, put them in charge of my livestock as well. Joseph brought his father, Israel, and presented him to Pharaoh. And he blessed Pharaoh. Pharaoh asked Israel, how old are you? Israel told Pharaoh, I have lived and traveled on earth for 130 years. The years of my life have been few and unpleasant. I have not lived as long as my fathers during their travels on earth. Israel blessed Pharaoh again and left his presence. Joseph settled Israel and his brothers and gave them the best land in Egypt, the land of Ramesses, as Pharaoh had commanded. Joseph provided his father, brothers, and their households with food according to the size of their families. So that's where we're going to wrap up our reading today. Uh, you know, it's so amazing to me just to think about the joy and probably some of the heartbreak too that Israel suffered by finding out that Joseph was actually alive. And when I say some of the heartbreak, okay, so obviously he was heartbroken. We've seen throughout the entire portion of Israel's life after Joseph had left. Not just Joseph was extremely sorrowful, but Israel was as well. He was so sorrowful that it actually molded his perception of the world and made him, some may say, overly cautious towards Joseph's brother Benjamin. So the sorrow that Israel felt, what I'm speaking of though specifically, is he found out that Joseph's still alive. So that's kind of something that we have to think about. I don't know if you've ever been through a traumatic situation, but we go through it in our minds again. So all those emotions, like the day that he found out that Joseph had died, that he had been torn apart into pieces, all of those emotions had to have come back when he did find out that Joseph was actually still alive. And then the joy that he felt when he did know that he was alive. So it was probably just an extremely emotional situation, right? And then when they actually do make plans to head down there, Joseph meets them and he says, hey, you've got to tell Pharaoh that you guys are shepherds. Unfortunately, shepherds are repulsive in the eyes of Egyptians. Even though it says Pharaoh has his own cattle or his own livestock and he wants some of Joseph's family to look over it, the Egyptians look at a lot of the livelihoods and the culture of the Hebrews, and it's actually repulsive to them. We've seen it in multiple occasions. Not only did the brothers not were they not able to actually eat with the Egyptians because they wouldn't eat bread with them, and I think that might come down to the Ezekiel bread. I don't know how familiar you are with that. If you want to do some research, do that, but it's pretty interesting stuff. But also what's amazing is Joseph's amazing tenure in Egypt. Pharaoh is extremely grateful. I mean, like I said, Joseph has saved this civilization, and not just the Egyptian civilization, the surrounding civilizations as well. People from all over the world, as it told us, had gone. And to repay Pharaoh, or to repay Joseph, Pharaoh has given his family the best of Egypt, what he can give them, the best land, and opportunities for his brothers to actually oversee his livestock. As we know, Pharaoh we heard about in with Pharaoh's cupbearer and Pharaoh's baker, it's a pretty big deal to be one of the head servants of Pharaoh's. But with that big responsibility, or the big, you know, with the grandeur, I guess I'm not saying it right, but with that high of a ranking comes a lot of responsibility. And there, obviously, for the baker, there was some extremely huge downside to it. The baker ended up losing his life. So it's a really high honor to be Pharaoh's servant. But once again, like I said, Joseph had served Pharaoh and the entire world by being able to interpret the dream. And Pharaoh has repaid him by providing Joseph's family with the best in Egypt. And it's just really touching to me. And we'll end up seeing, like I said, we're going to continue. We're almost done here in Genesis, but we're going to end up seeing what actually comes of the Israelites. Once again, my name is Glenn Griego. I want to thank you for taking time to join me for our Bible study session here for the United Kingdom of Christ Broadcast Network. If you'd like to reach out to me, I can be reached via telephone at 720-805-8886. That is call or text. I can also be emailed at uk.christ@outlook.com. Thank you so much again. God bless.